Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Ringo TV Reactions. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. You know, a mother is supposed to love her children. A father is supposed to protect, provide, and make sure that his family is good. Your child should never have to worry. I mean, even if you're struggling financially, even if you don't got the money to live the lifestyle that you would like to, the children should not even know what's going on. At least for the most part, when I was growing up, we was poor. All the kids were poor, but we didn't even know we were poor because our parents struggled in silence and they would try to do their best to make sure that we were good. We didn't even know that we were poor till we got a little older, and then we realized. But in this case here, these two animals tortured their child and starved their child to death. And the black community on social media got nothing to say about this issue. The FBA community is silent once again, guys. Look at this young child. Innocent, had his whole life ahead of him. And rather than his parents protect him, they decide to kill him. This is what's going on, guys. This is what the FBA community don't want you guys to see. They don't want you to see this. They want to act like all of your problems is the white man. The white man has nothing to do with your problems right now. The bills that you owe is your problem. All of you black folk that got bills, rent, mortgages, all of that other stuff, that's your problem. That has nothing to do with the white man. We all got bills. We all got bills. The white man got bills. Why do y'all be acting as if though white people don't got bills? Why is it that the black community is always worried about white people when white people are not even thinking about you? They're not. You know, we're supposed to be responsible for our own issues. In the black community, kids are being murdered and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's bringing awareness to these crimes and violence towards kids. We have two parents that tortured a child, and the FBA community is silent. They won't touch it. They won't address these issues. They won't teach black people that we need to do better. They won't teach black men that we need to stop killing our kids, stop beating our women. You don't ever see these FBA channels talking about these issues. They never do. They never hold black men to the fire and say, black man, you got to stop killing your women. You got to stop killing your kids. They never do it. You know why? They'll lose their following. I don't care who come here and subscribe and unsubscribe anymore, guys. I just don't, because I realize that people who rock with the platform gonna rock with the platform. People who rock with truth. Everybody else, fuck them. I don't care, because I'm on a mission. And this is a lonely road to be on when you're a man of truth and you stand for truth, because you realize that all the problems going on in the black community is the responsibility of black folk. These two animals deserve life in prison for torturing and killing a child. And rather than these YouTubers address the black community and say enough is enough, they rather protect the image of the community by not talking about the topics. And then when I talk about the topics, They turn it into a race issue and say, oh, you're just tap dancing for white folk. No, the white man is responsible for his own issues. If there's a white man that's killing a bunch of white people out there, it is the responsibility of a white man who's a content creator to address those issues. It's a responsibility for the white men in that community to address those issues, not me. He have to be a man about his business in his community, you know? But in the black community, we don't address none of these issues, and many children are dying. Innocent kids, the vulnerable, the weak, are dying at the hands of these kind of animals. Look at that woman's face. Does she look like a loving mother? No, she looked like a demon. Look at her father. This animal, this beast. And you know what's so crazy? The black community get upset when I say this animal, this beast. So what do you want me to call these monsters who kill kids? What do you call them? What do you call parents that kill their children? What do you call them? What do you call these people? Ain't no time to be nice. These are animals. Degenerate savages. They tortured this kid for a very long time. Listen to this story, guys. Listen to this gut-wrenching story. This diabolical, sinister story of two parents from the lake of fire, demon-possessed. Listen to what they did to their kid.
We're learning more about what happened to 4-year-old Ja'Kai Smith. His mother, Kaylee Smith Parks, and her boyfriend are now charged with his murder. Today, a judge gave Smith Parks no bond, but the state presented new evidence detailing how the mother and her boyfriend tortured this child. And we want to warn you, the details of this case are disturbing.
Well, Yolanda, we only saw Kaylee Smith Park for a short time this afternoon in court. She really didn't have any emotion and she did not say anything. Now, she waived her appearance this afternoon, but she was given no bond. Now, in this hearing today, we heard from a Reynoldsburg police officer. He described what he saw in 21 days worth of video from Ja'Kai's bedroom. The officer says in that video, Ja'Kai is starved, tortured, beat, and psychologically tormented. For example, he says the couple would give the boy a cold shower. After that shower, he says Ja'Kai would not be able to walk or stand up. He says the torture persisted every single day.
Ja'Kai was barely fed. He would ask for food hundreds of times a day, be withheld food, be told if he's asked for food that he will be punished with different forms of torture.
Now, Kaylee's boyfriend, Linwood Allison Jr. is also charged with a murder. We're waiting for his next court appearance. Reporting live in downtown Columbus, Tara Jabor, 10 TV News.
Do you see this evil? Why the FBA community don't address these issues? Why? How many kids have to die? How many kids have to die at the hands of black men and women? Why nobody standing up for the kids? This child was tortured, starved. Think about this, guys. I want you to imagine this mess, man. This child here.
We're learning.
This young child, hungry. Mommy, could I get something to eat? No. Mommy, I'm hungry. No. If you keep asking me, I'm punishing you. And they did this to this kid. And they tortured him with different punishments. Why? Why did they even have a child for if they're going to do this? And they did this thing over and over and over till they killed the child, bro. And content creators are doing their best to try to turn you good people against me because I address the issues. The question you need to ask, ladies and gentlemen, is this: why the black community don't address these issues and bring awareness to it so that we can have the conversation on doing better, on looking at the signs. The community is supposed to be looking at the children. When you see children, you ought to look closely and be like, wait a minute, why those kids are all malnutritious? Why them kids look like they being starved? I mean, I don't want to be up in everybody's business, but, we got to keep an eye on things and recognize signs. But we live in a day where people just ignore what's going on. They just ignore everything. Look at a mom there in court. No emotion whatsoever. She don't care. She killed her son. And all of this happened at the projects. You see that? At the projects. And that's what they did. Had this boy up in there in the house of horrors, struggling. You see what I'm saying? This poor child. And they're right next door to other people, so you can't tell me you didn't hear. You can't tell me you didn't hear that child being tortured. The neighbors heard and ignored it. And I guarantee you the neighbors are black. In your community right now, a child is being tortured. Right now. Serious. And it could be in any community. White, black, Asian. There's people being tortured. Kids being abused, starved, violated sexually. There are women being beaten in their house right now by their man. Their man is slapping them around the house and then torturing them. And when they come outside, it's all smiles. Y'all know what I'm talking about is true. Y'all be seeing neighbors. They be acting all like they all good and you be hearing the noise. But when they come outside, everybody act like everybody's happy. So now a child is dead. What is that community doing about this? What is the community doing about this? How do those next door neighbors feel knowing that right next door, a child was starved to death and tortured, beaten by their parents, and whom you would assume is taking care of them? The last thing you would think is that parents would be doing evil to their own kids. See, when we address these issues, black people disappear. They're nowhere to be found. But when it comes to P. Diddy, you'll have 15,000 people watching a live stream and nothing's happening because they all want to see him burn in prison because they love drama. But when you talk about real issues, see, this is what I mean about the distractions. You're being distracted by focusing on stuff that really makes no sense. I already told you 1,000 times, Diddy is going to walk. He's not going to prison, right? There's no evidence that prove anything, right? It's just one big distraction at this point. That's why I don't even talk about it. You see me talk about once in a while here and there, but it's like, look, I missed 2-3 days of talking about P. Diddy. Y'all notice that I didn't even talk about it for 2-3 days. Y'all don't see? I don't care. It's like, I'm not trying to waste your time just to get a click and a view. I'm talking about real issues that are affecting people. Lives are being extinguished. You see what I mean? They don't make no sense. No sense whatsoever. See, black folk are focused on P. Diddy because they just want to see him burn in prison. He ain't murdered no children. He ain't killed no woman that he was dating. But right here, we see clearly that a child lost his life to his evil parents. Black community don't even care about that. I don't see the black community coming over here in droves like, man, they need to serve time in prison. We need to make sure we put them under the prison. Y'all don't even care because they're not P. Diddy. You see the difference? You're only excited to see people go to prison when they're rich and successful. But everyday people that are killing kids and beating women, nobody cares about. There's no urgency to be concerned about it. If 50 Cent committed a crime right now, it's headline news. All of you would be in the live chat going crazy. Damn, yo, 50 got arrested. Oh, man, yo, that great, bro. No, that Ray. But if we bring up Pookie and Ray Ray killing kids, nobody cares. So the truth of the matter is, black folk only worry about those that are rich when they commit crimes. But the people who commit crimes every day in their community, they turn a blind eye to it. That's why when you speak the truth, you don't get no support. You know? That's why when you speak this truth, you don't get no support. Now, there's a lot of content creators that cover news stories. The reason why they get support is because they don't speak the truth. They just cover the story without no truth. Because why? They don't want to offend the viewer. They don't want to step on no toes. They don't want to say the wrong thing that'll make people say, I don't want to watch him because I don't like how he said that. So what they do is strategize how to manipulate the viewer while putting out the story. They don't cover the stories the way I do. Never could. Because there's no truth in them. Nobody's defending the victims. They're just focused on the click and the view. That's it. As long as you view, as long as you click, that's all that matters. They'll manipulate you and keep you dumbed down and docile. I see the witchcraft and the sorcery going on social media all the time. If you viewers only know how much witches and warlocks are on social media, keeping you tuned in to BS all day by manipulating your senses, by manipulating your thoughts. And what they do is they make you hate those that are actually doing the work. They convince you that those that are actually doing the work, standing for the truth, that those are the bad people. And you buy it. It's sad, man. Sad and disgusting how much truth I put out. And the people don't even show up to hear. They don't even want to hear it. They want to hear lies. They want to hear about Cardi B. See, if I do a video about Cardi B, everybody want to look now because it's drama. But when you hear about kids dying by the hands of ninjas, all of a sudden now, well, I don't want to hear that. You're down in black people. I'm down in black people by talking about the actual news story. So let me get this straight. Is the news media down in black people when they put out these stories? Because I'm not the news media. I didn't put out the stories. The news media do. I'm just covering the stories. Do you get mad with the white news media? No, you don't. You don't get mad. You get mad with a black man when he addressed the issue because the way I break it down, I go deeper than the news media because I hold the black community accountable. The black community failed this child. The family of this young lady failed that child because nobody was in that child's life to actually look and see what's going on. Where's the grandmothers, the mothers? Where are these people? The aunties? They would have been know something was wrong. They would have been knew something was wrong. Why your child looking like that? Are you feeding this boy? They would have been knew. But in today's day, family don't even get along. So now children are dying.
We're learning more about what happened to 4-year-old Ja'Kai Smith. His mother, Kaylee Smith Parks, and her boyfriend are now charged with his murder.
Both of them are charged with murder, and they deserve life in prison.
A judge gave Smith Parks no bond.
No bond. Thanks, Judge. No bond.
But the state presented new evidence detailing how the mother and her boyfriend tortured this child. And we want to warn you, the details of this case are disturbing.
And that's what's going on in the black community. There's a lot of disturbing things going on in the black community. I just recently showed you guys a video of a pastor who sodomized his own daughter, and the black community got nothing to say about it. But if P. Diddy did that, it's headline news. I don't get this. What's the matter with us? If P. Diddy got arrested for sodomizing some woman out of nowhere, it's headline news. You would all be like, my God, I can't believe he did that. Well, I showed a video of a pastor who is a father sodomize his own daughter, and the black community don't give a fuck. They don't even care. These content creators ain't talking about it. Nobody talking about it. They don't even care. P. Diddy is more important. P. Diddy is more important than a pastor who's supposed to be preaching Jesus Christ, instead violated his own daughter after she gave birth to his child because he was abusing her from when she was young, all the way into junior high school, all the way to when she got into her 20s and she moved out the house. He broke in the new house after she gave birth and sodomized her brutally. And the black community got nothing to say about it. Ain't that something? When everything with P. Diddy is all consensual, all the freak offs, all of the stuff that he's been doing, that's all consensual between him and that 304 Cassie, who loved getting piped down by different men, who said it in the text messages and the DMs. But yet the black community is literally going crazy over that. But when we have real stories, real topics that's affecting people, it's not important. It's not important. But then we say, where are the leaders in the black community? I'm telling you, black folks are done, bro.
Well, Yolanda, we only saw Kaylee Smith Park for a short time this afternoon in court. She really didn't have any emotion and she did not say anything. Now, she waived her appearance this afternoon, but she was given no bond. Now, in this hearing today, we heard from a Reynoldsburg police officer. He described what he saw in 21 days worth of video from Jakai's bedroom.
21 days worth of video from the bedroom. So whatever investigation or whatever they have, they got video.
The officer says in that video, Jakai is starved, tortured, beat, and psychologically tormented.
This all happened to a child, 4 years old, guys.
For example, he says the couple would give the boy a cold shower. After that shower, he says Jakai would...
A cold shower. Cold. Not a warm shower. Cold.
Not be able to walk or stand up. He says the torture persisted every single day.
Every single day. And the black community got nothing to say. Make that make sense. I'm the bad guy for speaking the truth and bringing awareness to these stories. I'm the one they hate. I'm the one they hate for speaking the truth.
Jakai was barely fed. He would ask for food hundreds of times a day.
Hundreds of times a day.
Be withheld food. Be told if he's asked for food that he will be punished.
He was told if he would ask for food, he's going to be punished. They did this to a child, and the FBA community got nothing to say.
With different forms of torture.
Now, Kaylee's boyfriend, Linwood Allison Jr. is also charged with murder. We're waiting for his next court appearance. Reporting live in downtown Columbus, Tara Jabor, 10 TV News.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know, guys. These stories, man. It's difficult when you're a man of truth and you're very passionate about what you do. And you bring out the truth for the people to have these tough conversations. And the people literally look at you as the enemy for just addressing the topics. And what it tells me is that the black community is hiding their demons. They're hiding their demons, and they don't want the world to know about the savages, the degenerates. They don't want nobody to know about these kind of individuals that are harming children. You know, it's just sick, sinister. Black men are killing their pregnant women and throwing babies off bridges. Pastors are molesting their daughters now. Fathers are doing this to their own daughters. Father supposed to protect his daughter, last time I checked. But now the pastor is laying pipe on their daughter now. Sons are getting sexually exploited now by their fathers. The mothers are starving and torturing their babies in the black community. And nobody's addressing none of these issues because they don't like looking bad. They don't like that. They look at it as you're just making the community look bad. No, the community is bad. I can't make it look bad when you got these kind of stories that are out here and kids are suffering because their parents are on demon time. You understand? This child didn't deserve this. This child deserved a future, a life. A child is supposed to grow up and play, have fun, and not worry about the issues we go through as adults. We struggle as adults. We go through a lot, but it is what it is. That's a part of life. But kids are not supposed to know about these struggles and the things we go through. We're supposed to provide for them a better life, better opportunities, so that they don't have to deal with what we dealt with. You know, it's like if you're a mom and a dad, you're supposed to work hard and build and, you know, purchase some land, get a house, do all of these things so that your children got something. You know what I mean? Have something for the children so they don't got to go through all of these different things, and give them a better start. But it's like the community ain't doing that. They're killing the kids. Why you have them for? Why did you have these children if you're going to be killing them and torturing them and throwing them off bridges and stuff? Why? See, we want to paint the black community like everything is peaceful and everything is good and we just love each other. That facade on social media is fake. When you go to these YouTube channels and you see everybody in the live chat and everybody talking about they FBA and everybody talking about, yeah, we brothers and sisters, it's bullshit. Them folks they're fake. They're only saying that on social media. They could never gather together in the real world. If they do, it'll be bloodshed. They only gather on social media where you can't see one another, you can't interact with one another. It's fake. They would never come together, because if they do, they will be fighting and killing, because that's how they really are in the black community. That's why when you go to these communities, it's nothing but crime and violence and drugs and mayhem. Black men are getting arrested left and right, not because the white man just trying to get you, no, because you're committing crimes. And your women are tired of it. The average black woman is always getting with a Pookie and a Ray Ray, a criminal, a thug, in and out of prison, a felon. These damn animals are disgusting. Drug dealers, gang members, all around you. And what is these so-called content creators doing? Nothing. They don't talk about these issues. You understand? Because they don't want to offend their black audience. That's how they're milking the cow. For a cash app, for a super chat. That's what they do. They buck dance and tap dance for a ninja in order to get a cash app. By telling you what you want to hear rather than telling you what you need to hear. We need to hear the truth. We need to hear that our people got problems. That's what we need to hear. That we need to fix our problems. And it starts by getting rid of the damn savages from the community and calling them out. This kind of behavior is unacceptable. But instead, we want to protect criminals. We want to protect the Carmelo Anthonys, not because he did the right thing, but because he's black. That's why you want to protect him. If Carmelo Anthony murdered another black kid of yours, you won't be so quick to be saying he's innocent. He was only defending himself because he was being bullied. No evidence show that he was being bullied. You're just going by the gossip on social media because you keep listening to these damn devils that have microphones trying to get a check while lying to you and manipulating you all day and putting witchcraft on you. A lot of you viewers don't even realize content creators are putting witchcraft on you. Spells to keep you tuned in all day listening to lies. They never address the real issues. Never. Because they know nobody won't support them. Because the black community hates the truth. They hate it. They don't want to hear about the truth. They want to hear about what white people are doing. They're entertained by that. If you really spoke, if you speak the truth to black folk, they hate you. No different than if you went to a real church, a real pastor that spoke against your sin, you won't come back to the church. Don't you know that? Why do you think in churches they don't even preach against sin no more? Have you not noticed? When these churches come online and they do these Sunday services and whatever service they do, Wednesday night Bible study, they never talk about overcoming your sin. They never talk about your corn addiction. They never talk about your adultery. They never talk about your fornication. They never talk about lying. They never talk about nothing. They just give you motivational speeches and tell you how God want to bless you. They always telling you God want to bless you. And if you sow a seed and believe God, God is going to give you a harvest, and how you need to just believe in God and pray and fast. And they never talk about sin, because if they did, you would leave, because they know how you are. They know. They study psychology. They understand what and how to market church to you to keep you coming back and keep the money coming out your pocket. Because the day the pastor actually teach you what the Bible say, he won't have a church no more. They would vote him out and tell him to step down. And the same thing the pastor does is the same thing content creators do. They know the truth, but they won't tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the only platform that hold the black community accountable for these type of evil doings, and they hate me for it. They hate me for it. I'm hated. They hate me more than they hate white people. Ain't that something? All for speaking the truth about these degenerate animals that are killing kids. Imagine, I'm standing up against these demons that are killing kids, and the black community hates me. Anyway, I'm gonna get up on out of here, man. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Y'all take care. Ringo TV Reactions. We out. Ringo TV Reactions. The #1 reactionary channel on YouTube, hands down. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Tune in next time. We out. Peace.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $sign Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/RingoTVRaw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth 100%